A monk was walking barefoot along a mountain path when he encountered a wealthy man riding up on a luxurious horse. The man stopped and shouted, "Monk, why are you wasting your time walking when you could get a horse like mine?" The monk smiled and asked, "And where is your horse taking you so fast?" The man replied proudly, "Everywhere, wherever I want." The monk nodded and said, "Then, why haven't you arrived anywhere yet?" Today we're going to discover why following your own path is the bravest and wisest decision you can make in your life. Stay until the end, because the final story will leave you speechless. Today we're going to explore one of the deepest and most liberating principles of Zen philosophy: the art of following your own path without being diverted by the opinions, criticism, or expectations of others. Do you know one of the greatest sources of suffering in modern human life? It's not lack of money, it's not loneliness, and it's not even illness. It's living the life others expect from you instead of the life your heart truly desires. In these minutes, you'll discover ancient stories that Zen masters used to teach their disciples this fundamental truth. Each story is a mirror in which you can see your own struggles, doubts, and also your potential for freedom reflected back at you. But before we continue, let me share something important with you. This knowledge has survived for centuries because it works. It's not empty theory. It's practical wisdom that has transformed millions of lives. And today, it can begin transforming yours. Many years ago, in a small monastery in northern Japan, there lived a Zen master named Hakuin. He was known throughout the region for his wisdom and serene character. One day, a young woman from the village appeared pregnant. Her parents, furious, demanded that she reveal who the father was. Terrified of the consequences, the young woman lied and accused Master Hakuin. The news spread like wildfire. The villagers, scandalized, went to the monastery shouting insults. The girl's father, an influential man, banged on the door in rage. "Master Hakuin, my daughter says you are the father of her child. What do you have to say for yourself?" Hakuin, without losing his composure, simply replied, "Oh, is that so?" Nothing more. Just 2 words. "Oh, is that so?" The villagers insulted him, spat in front of him, and spread his disgrace throughout the town. His reputation was destroyed within hours. Yet Hakuin continued his life as if nothing had happened. He kept meditating, working in his garden, teaching the few disciples who remained by his side. When the baby was born, the girl's parents brought it to the monastery and left it at the door. "It's your responsibility now," they said with contempt. Hakuin opened the door, looked at the baby, and said, "Oh, is that so?" He took the child in his arms and began caring for it with complete devotion. A year passed. Consumed by guilt, the young woman finally confessed the truth. The real father was a young man from the village with whom she had had a secret affair. Ashamed, the parents rushed to the monastery. They knelt before Hakuin crying, "Master, forgive us. We have committed a terrible injustice. Here is the real father. Please give us back the child." Hakuin, holding the baby he had cared for during that year, simply said, "Oh, is that so?" And he returned the child, without resentment, without bitter words, without the need to be right. Did you grasp the depth of this story? Hakuin didn't need to defend his reputation. He didn't need others to understand his truth. He never strayed from his inner path because of criticism, insults, or the injustice he suffered. His "oh, is that so?" was not indifference. It was absolute freedom. Think about your own life for a moment. How much energy do you spend trying to explain yourself? How much time do you waste defending your decisions to people who, honestly, will never fully understand you? The Zen master teaches us something radical. Your path does not need anyone's approval. When you live from your center, from your deepest truth, external opinions are like clouds passing through the sky. You see them, you acknowledge they exist, but you don't define yourself by them. This doesn't mean arrogance or lack of empathy. It means you've found something more valuable than external validation: your own inner compass. Now, the next story is even more powerful. It will show you why comparing yourself to others is the fastest path to misery. And believe me, the solution the Zen master offers is something you can apply starting today. But before that, listen very carefully. A student once asked his master, "What is the greatest obstacle on the spiritual path?" Do you know what the master replied? He didn't say ego. He didn't say desire. He said something that may surprise you. In an ancient Zen garden, a bamboo and a cherry tree were planted side by side. The bamboo grew quickly, tall, flexible, and green all year long. The cherry tree grew slowly, and during winter it lost all its leaves, standing bare and seemingly lifeless. One day, the bamboo said to the cherry tree, "Look how weak you are. You lose your leaves. You look sad and dry half the year. I, on the other hand, stay green and strong all the time. You should be more like me." The cherry tree didn't respond. It simply continued following its natural cycle. Spring arrived, and the cherry tree burst into pink blossoms so beautiful that the monks of the temple would sit for hours beneath its shade to meditate. Poets traveled from far away just to behold it. Its beauty was so extraordinary that it seemed to touch something divine in the hearts of those who looked at it. The bamboo, confused, asked the garden master, "I don't understand. I am taller, stronger, more consistent. Why does everyone admire the cherry tree and not me?" The master smiled. "Because the cherry tree never tried to be bamboo. And you, dear bamboo, are so busy comparing yourself that you've forgotten your own grace. Every spring, when the wind passes through your stalks, you create a music that no cherry tree could ever produce. But you've been so focused on looking at the other that you've never listened to your own song." The master continued, "The bamboo is perfect being bamboo. The cherry tree is perfect being cherry tree. Suffering begins when the bamboo wants cherry blossoms, or when the cherry tree desires the height of the bamboo." This story touches a wound we all carry: comparison. In the age of social media, this has become an epidemic. We constantly compare ourselves to edited lives, curated successes, and perfect moments from people who only show us their best angle. But comparison is not new. It is as old as humanity itself. Zen wisdom tells us something revolutionary. There is no path superior to another. There is your path, and there are the paths of others, and they cannot be compared because they are unique. You have gifts that no one else has in exactly the same way. You have a rhythm of life that is perfect for you, even if it seems too fast or too slow to others. When the bamboo finally listened to its own music in the wind, it discovered something that had been there all along. Its intrinsic value did not depend on being better than the cherry tree. It depended on being fully bamboo. And you? Are you being fully yourself? Or are you trying to have someone else's blossoms while ignoring your own music? If these stories are resonating with you, if you feel that this message is exactly what you needed to hear today, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Every week, I share Zen wisdom that can change your perspective on life. These are stories that have survived for centuries because they contain eternal truths about the human experience. And best of all, you can apply them today. You don't need to be a monk. You don't need to retreat to a mountain. This wisdom works in everyday life, in your work, your relationships, and your daily decisions. So subscribe now, because what's coming next is pure gold. A young monk stood at a crossroads, literally and metaphorically. He had two paths in front of him. One led to a great, famous monastery where a master known throughout the country taught. Thousands of students went there. The road was well paved, with clear signs. The other path was narrow and difficult, winding up the mountain toward a small hut where an unknown master lived, one he had only heard rumors about. Confused, the young monk sat down to meditate. Which path should I take? He asked himself again and again. Then an old man appeared, passing by. The young monk asked him, "Sir, which of these paths should I take?" The old man looked at him with deep eyes. Which path do others want you to take? The young monk replied, Everyone tells me to go to the great monastery. My family is proud. My friends are impressed. They say it's the sensible path, the path to success. The old man nodded. I see. And which path is your heart calling you toward? The young monk lowered his gaze. The mountain path. Something inside me needs to go there, but it seems absurd. It's harder, lonelier. And that master isn't even famous. What will people say about me if I choose that path? The old man smiled. Let me tell you a secret I learned very late in life. The path others approve of will take you to a destination chosen by others. The path your heart knows will take you to your own destination. And believe me, my son, living someone else's destiny, no matter how much it's applauded, is a prison built with walls of approval. The young monk fell silent. The old man continued, There are two kinds of regrets in life. The regret of trying and failing, and the regret of never trying. Which one weighs more on a deathbed? Which one can you live with in peace? The young monk took a deep breath. Then I will go to the mountain. The old man laughed softly. Why? Because you told me that. No. The old man interrupted. If you go to the mountain because I told you to, you will still be lost. Go to the mountain only if you choose it. Go to the great monastery if you choose it. But choose from within, not from the outside. And the old man disappeared down the road. Years later, that young monk became a well-known Zen master. And when people asked him which path he had taken that day, he always smiled and said, Mine. This story contains one of the most important lessons in all of Zen philosophy. The difference between living reactively and living from your center. To live reactively is to make decisions based on what others expect, approve of, or applaud. It's like being a leaf in the wind, moved by every opinion, every criticism, every external expectation. To live from your center is to make decisions from a deep place of self-knowledge. It is to listen to that inner voice that knows your truth, even when it can't be logically explained. And here is the crucial point. Following your own path does not mean being rebellious just for the sake of rebellion. It's not about doing the opposite of what others say just to prove independence. It's something far more mature and profound. It's about developing the ability to listen to your inner wisdom above the external noise. Sometimes your path will align with what others expect. Other times it will be completely different. And both are fine, as long as the choice comes from within. A Zen master would say, a tree does not grow by asking other trees where to grow. It grows toward the light, following its own nature. You also have an essential nature, a unique path that only you can walk. The question is not whether it's the right path. The question is it your path? Let me share one final teaching that a Zen master gave his disciple on his deathbed. Master, the disciple said through tears, what is the final teaching I must remember? With his last breath, the master whispered, remember this, at the end of your life, no one will be there to live your regrets for you. Not your family, not your friends, not your critics. Only you will be there with the decisions you made, or didn't make. So live in such a way that when that moment comes you can smile and say, this was my path. I walked it with all my heart. Because that peace, dear disciple, is priceless. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you is awakening. These stories are not just beautiful tales. They are maps toward a more authentic, freer, truly your own life. I invite you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Every week, I share practical Zen wisdom you can apply immediately in your life. And most importantly, share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. We all know someone who is living the life others expect instead of the life their heart desires. A simple act of sharing can be the spark that person needs to begin their own path. Remember, don't stray. Follow your own path. Not because it's easier. Sometimes it will be the hardest path. Not because others applaud it. Sometimes you will be criticized, but follow it because it's yours. Because at the end of the day, when you lay your head on the pillow, the only approval that truly matters is your own. As the old Zen proverb says, "The path you can walk is not your true path. Your true path is created with every step you take from your heart." May your path be authentic. May your life truly be your own. See you in the next video. Keep walking, my friend. Keep walking.